What's up, yo? Just woke up. I'm sitting on the toilet, getting my coffee in. That's how I start my day. I always got to get on the toilet. I check X, I check my news feed, and I just see what's going on with the world. Something exciting going on, what kind of changes are going on. I saw this video of this giant protest in England or Britain or whatever. And I think that it was organized by Tommy Robinson. Now, I don't really know that much about Tommy Robinson, but I've seen him post on X for the last probably year or 2 years. And I know he's like a civil rights activist in Europe. And I was sitting on the toilet today and I saw this huge protest, and it looked like a crap ton of people, like 1 million people at least. Like, it was huge. I don't know what city it was in, but I think that it was a free speech protest. And honestly, that's kind of crazy. The amount of people that were there, I'll put the video in right here. It's just kind of crazy. But, that video got me kind of excited that there might be a chance that in Europe, they'd get to have, some of the same rights that we have here, because for sure they don't have that right, because they could say anything on social media. You could be told you said this, said that, and they can make it a crime, basically, because you don't have that right. You don't have that right to free speech. They also don't have the right to own guns. And, hopefully, I don't think that it'll go off easy trying to get free speech in Europe, but it is cool to see that there's a lot of pressure like that. And that even gave me an idea, if Americans really wanted to support, American rights going over to the rest of the world, I think they should. I think that's something that's really, really important. And I think that one way we could do that, one way we could strategize and do that, is by this strategy. So, we already let a lot of people into the country every year. I think that I've read something and it said that our minimum is 1 million people a year. So even when the borders shut down or whatever, we're still letting people in. Now, of those 1 million people, they're really not all third world people, this and that. But what we could do is, if a lot of those Europeans that want those kinds of rights, I think we should let them come here. If those are certain values that they want and they want to uphold and they actually want to fight for, if they actually want to go out on the street, then start bringing them here. And hopefully, that puts even more pressure on Europe or Britain or whatever, or these places, to give their citizens free speech, or to just basically inherit American values. Now, that might seem kind of, what do you call that? Colonist minded or whatever. But me personally, I feel like a lot of those Europeans feel, that American values are some of the best values in the world, some of the freedoms that we have. I mean, hell, we all still have the right to own guns, even though you can commit atrocities with them. I mean, that is one of the worst things that happens in America, but it's also one of the most beautiful things that, all 350 million of us, or whatever, however many people are here, are able to own a gun. But we can still go outside during the day in our communities and go to work and meet new people and feel safe in certain communities, maybe not cities, although that is a huge shame, because most of our people do live in cities. But yeah, I'm just thinking, so I definitely hope everything goes well over there in Europe, and it would be really, really cool if they could get a free speech right. It'd be really sick, and I'd hope that they could get the right to own weapons as well, although I think that's pretty unlikely to happen unless they overthrew their government. But we'll see. Be exciting.